public hearing during which we discuss the budget, right? Before we move to the rest of the agenda?
Yep.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, we're all set.
Okay. 2 seconds here. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the December 16th, 2024 meeting of the Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 Board of Commissioners. We'll start off by calling the roll. I'm Steve Cooley, Commissioner.
Tim Johnson, Commissioner.
Mark Lamb, Commissioner.
Jason Vanderveen, Fire Chief.
Cool. Jessica, did she use herself or?
Do I? Hi, Jessica Kohler.
Hi, yeah. Great, thank you. Okay, so we will move. So today's main item is to discuss the budget for 2025. And so to that end, we're going to open a public hearing on that matter. So I will declare that public hearing open. And during this process, right, we should discuss amongst ourselves any questions we have about the budget. Is the appropriate time to do that, Jason?
Yeah. Well, you could ask for public comment on the budget, and then if there is none, then close it, and then open the regular portion of the meeting, and then look at the resolutions, and that's where you'd have your discussion.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So is anybody waiting to comment during the public hearing?
No, sir. We've received no written correspondence.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well then I will close the public hearing on the budget and we'll open the regular meeting. And the first item on that agenda would be the public comment period. So do we have anybody waiting in for a public comment?
No, sir. No, nobody waiting.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, my computer's lagging again. Okay, then the public comment period is closed. We'll move to the regular meeting, and we're going to start off with the two budget resolutions, 2024-07 and 08. The first one is for the EMS levy portion, and the other is for the fire levy. So, resolution 2024-07 is the first one we'll discuss.
I'm going to say, Commissioner Cooley, if I could,
yes.
I don't think you need to read every single thing.
Okay.
You can read number 1, number 3.
Okay.
Because those deal with the assessed valuation and the amount of actual physical dollars that are going to be deposited by the assessor's office.
Okay. Sounds good. And I could skip 4, you think, as well?
Yes, sir.
Good. So should remind me, I'm sorry, it's early in the week, I guess. Should I read that now and then make a motion to approve and discuss like that? Okay. All right. So I will read the relevant portions of resolution 2024-07 EMS property tax levy for 2024. Be it resolved by the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 as follows. Number 1, that the county assessor has notified the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4, hereafter referred as the district, that the estimated assessed valuation of real properties lying within the boundaries of said fire district for the EMS levy for calendar year 2025 is $3,113,343,637. And number 3, that the Honorable County Council of Whatcom County, Washington be and hereby requested to make a levy for year 2024 for said County Fire Protection District 4 of $418,532.37. And adopted at a meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners, Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4, this 16th day of December, 2024. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
I would move to approve resolution number 2024-07, the EMS property tax levy 2024.
And I would second that.
And thank you, Commissioner Land. We have a Motion and a second. Discussion on this proposed resolution.
Just kind of this, my canned question on ones like this, Jason, is it safe to assume that the attorney has reviewed the language and the numbers and all that stuff, before it got to us at this point?
Well, the language, yes. The numbers, no, because they came from the one we did previously. These come from the resolution that was done previously in November, which the attorney looked at. So I just
Okay.
used the exact same numbers. So.
Okay, and then my other question, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but we were going to talk
Sorry, everybody
about
keeps freezing on my end. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
There we go. Everybody hear me okay? Sorry, you froze there, Mark, for me anyway.
Sure, yeah, no worries. I was just saying, I don't know if I'm going out of order, but just, I see the two resolutions that are kind of under what is a budget presentation. And I remember last month or at the special meeting, I can't quite remember, but we were gonna maybe make sure we had our sort of projected income versus expenses kind of talked about. Is that coming later?
Yes, sir. That's the very next piece. So after the consent agenda, yep, you'll get the budget. And those items are in the board packet, so that you could look at them before. I know it's out of order, but they call this the budget, but actually this is just us declaring what the revenue will be. The actual line by line budget. I wish they differentiate the words, but
Okay.
the line by line budget's coming. Yes.
So then in anticipation of approving the two resolutions, those numbers have already been pulled into the budget presentation that's yet to come.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. I know I'm sure I ask that every year. I just can't wrap my head around it, but thanks.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate that you ask it because I like to rewrap my head around it every year too. So thank you, Mark. Okay, any other further discussion on the EMS property tax levy resolution?
If I could just make one comment really quick. This is this will be the district's this will be the third year in a row that District 4 has elected to take this amount of revenue from the taxpayer, for lack of a better word. We have, because the levy passed, we have not done anything with the EMS levy. And we've communicated, we've sent them the appropriate pieces of, they've sent the county the appropriate documentation to be able to bank that capacity. So there's been no rise in anybody's taxes on the EMS levy side.
Great. Anything else before we move on to vote on this particular resolution? Okay, seeing nothing, then discussion's closed on that, and I will call for a vote on approval of resolution 2024-07. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Moving on to the second resolution, resolution 2024-08. I'll read, let's see, the appropriate parts. Yeah, I think I can probably, let's do this. Regular fire property tax for 2024, be it resolved by the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection, the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4, otherwise known as the district, that the estimated assessed value of real properties lying within the boundaries of said district for the calendar year 2025 is $3,085,336,044. Okay. And then I think I can skip down to number 4. The Honorable County Council of Whatcom County, Washington be and are hereby requested to make a levy for year 2024 for said Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 of $3,429,529. Yeah, that looks, and then it would be adopted by us, the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4, the 16th day of December, 2024. Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 2024-08. I'll make a motion. I move that we approve resolution 2024-08. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Discussion on this one.
If I may,
Yes, sir.
in case there's a question, if you'll notice that for the EMS levy, or sorry, for the EMS resolution and the fire resolution, the assessed valuations are different.
Yes.
Reason that is because when you vote in a permanent EMS tax, some of those properties have been absorbed into the city, or they've been annexed into the city. They will still pay the tax until they don't own that property anymore.
Okay.
Because they are the taxpayers that voted for that tax. So the tax still comes to District 4, and that's why there's a discrepancy in the assessed valuation between the fire and EMS levy, because the amount of taxable properties that District 4 has reduced in the time since that EMS levy was passed.
Thank you for that. I had forgotten the reason. I knew there was a reason, but thank you. That makes sense. Okay, any other further discussion? Seeing none, then I will, let's see.
Steve,
Yes, sir.
I just came back in. Can you see me or?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit now.
Hello?
I can see you. Yeah.
So, is this a point where we can discuss the budget that is part of our packet?
Chief, I think that was later, right?
Yeah, you're just, at this point, you're just approving the dollar amount to be deposited in the district's coffers. The line by line budget that discussion will be coming after the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So
we
just
don't.
the dollar amount that's in there, the 3.429 million, that last month, wasn't that still an estimate from the county?
Yes,
But that is the final amount now?
it's the final because they haven't given us any final numbers yet. So we are having to work with the same exact number. Yep.
Okay.
So
Say that one more time, Chief. They haven't given us the exact number, so.
we have not received the final assessed valuations for any fire district in the county yet. So all of the fire chiefs are operating off of the proposed or estimated AVs that we got in November.
Okay.
So that's why you're seeing the exact same numbers from November.
Okay. Gotcha. Will we have to
Thank
do
you.
new resolutions when the final numbers come out? Do you know?
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
All right. We'll see how that, yeah.
That will be a question for the assessor's office and probably the prosecuting attorney's office,
Okay.
county prosecuting attorney's office when it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else, Tim?
No, none for me. Thank you.
Not at this time. Okay. Okay, then I will then call for a vote on resolution 2024-08. All those in favor of approving that resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries 3-0. So that resolution is also adopted. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Excuse me just a second. Get my notes here. Okay, all matters within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Board of Commissioners for review, are considered routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the board with no separate discussion. If a separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request. And our consent agenda today includes the minutes of 3 meetings, our public hearing on November 14th, our special meeting, which was a brief one on the 22nd of November, and then the joint work section we had with District 21 on November 22nd. Also the staff reports, financial reports, voucher, payroll, and benefits. Yeah, so our total expenditures for December were $3,323.50. And that is $966 of payroll and then $2,357.50. I believe there was a Liz Loomis charge. Oh, I think I had a quick question. It said, let me see. Bear with me just a moment. There was just a note on that particular charge about, I'll get there. Let's see.
It was an invoice that we thought we had paid, and they didn't approach us until this month.
Okay.
Basically, everybody had missed it.
Got it. Yeah, that's what it said, missing. I can see it now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to clarify that. And then the other was for legal services from Eric.
Correct.
Okay, and our total expense fund revenue for November was $388,666.31. Okay, I move that we approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, thank you very much. Any discussion on the consent agenda?
No.
No discussion. Okay, all those in favor of approving the consent, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Okay, we'll move into unfinished business. We have 5 items listed there. Those are all items, as you all recall, that we're tracking. So I guess I will ask just sort of the room if anyone has any updates on any of those 5 things that we're tracking for the meeting today. I do not.
Hang on, let me get back to.
Yeah, so we have the Britton Loop Station exterior project, the fire engine bid quote, Liz Loomis contract, the county consolidation study, and the Bellingham annexation. We're just tracking those issues. Anything?
So
any of those?
Are we ending kind of the month to month retainer with Liz
Yes.
at the end of the year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That was the last payment for Liz Loomis.
Okay.
The fire station, I'm meeting the first contractor on the 30th at Station 12 to get a bid.
Okay.
The fire engine, I don't have anything for you. I'll talk a little bit about a tender that we talked briefly about in November in new business. The Whatcom County consolidation study, I sent you all in the board packet it's a PowerPoint that some of the chiefs and commissioners came up with. We presented it to the group doing the consolidation. It's also going to be used to do some outreach with the county council members, just about what a fire district is and what authority it has and doesn't have, and that it's actually a taxing authority and that you are actually elected officials and some of the nuances that go into being a fire district. And then Bellingham annexation, I've heard nothing. So I think it's that time of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, presentation looked really good. It was a great history lesson, actually. So yeah, good information that was put into whoever did that. So yeah, helped me understand some things. So that's good.
Yep.
Anything else on those 5 unfinished business?
Commissioner Johnson's got something.
Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead, Tim.
Just a couple questions. The meeting on the 30th with the contractor, is that a bid walk?
Yes.
Are we still soliciting bids?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a bid walk.
And are you expecting we're going to get any other bids for the work?
Yes. We're going to get at least 3 bids.
Okay.
Due to the size of the project, we'll get at least 3 bids. So.
Okay. And then, thank you. And then my other question was on the consolidation study meeting. I might have missed what you said. Have we actually presented this to any council members yet?
We have not presented to any council members yet. The first rollout of it was a week and a half ago to the consolidation, to the crew doing the consolidation study. We gave it to them first. They were kind of our test group.
Yeah, you had mentioned they're from the East Coast and they do fire differently out there, right? And so,
They do a lot of stuff differently
Yeah.
on the East Coast. Yeah, that's what we're finding out.
right.
So,
So it was good for them to have that update, I imagine, or that.
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Commissioner Cooley. A lot of great information in that presentation. Um, it, it might be a bit of drinking from the fire hose for those commissioners to get through that pretty quick. That's why I'm just wondering if there is any feedback from any meetings with commission, or I'm sorry, with the council members yet.
yeah, we had kind of, that was kind of some of the feedback we got from the consolidation group was like, okay, we speak the language and that was a lot. So we may pare it down a little bit or, and these are supposed to be, this is not, the idea is not to do this in a public meeting, but to do it in a one-on-one
Right.
type where there's maybe, they set aside a half an hour so that there can be some, at least a few questions back and forth or, and I had no idea moment kind of thing. So that's the goal, is not to do it during a council meeting, because so far the only team, they've just given us the 3 minutes allotted to a member of the public. They're not
Right.
interested in a long presentation.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anything else for unfinished business? Those items? Okay, moving into new business. Yeah, there's not a separate line item for reviewing the budget. Should we just start? Why don't we just start with that if anybody?
Yeah. And if I could, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Absolutely. Let's start with that and then we'll move to the other 3 items on that list.
Okay, so
Take it away, Chief.
fancy cover page. And I brought Jessica along with me as well to help answer if you have any questions about her perspective on things. I think as a new person in the finance office, it was interesting to do this with her. She has a lot of good ideas, and I think, and you're going to see things shift away from like the Excel pages to using the software that we pay for and utilize every day to do some of these presentations. But this was her learning year, and yeah, she provided some interesting and really good points as we went through the budget process. So the page you see here, this is expected revenues that we have listed out. You'll see the last 4 years represented. Obviously, 2023 was the last year that Chris Parks prepared the budget. She and I do things a little differently. She always projected past taxes. Those are taxes you receive when, say, a foreclosed property or someone that has stopped paying their mortgage sold. And when a property like that sells, then the past taxes are paid due. I have been taught from the very beginning that you don't actually budget for those, because those are not, you don't know that those are going to be actual sources of revenue. So that's why you see some differences in how things are done between 2023 and 2024 and beyond. We went through and looked at budget versus actuals on things like the forest excise tax and leasehold excise tax, and are just budgeting the same amount because those are relatively stable sources of income. The intergovernmental service revenue for EMS from the county, what you're seeing there is the first year, 2023, was when the county essentially split $5 million between all the districts. And now our payment is going to be a more stable, roughly 55,000 plus per year for the next four years after this. So that's why you see the disparity in the numbers there. Small works roster, we got out of that business, so there would be no revenue coming from that. Investment interest is going to remain roughly the same. And then facility rental fees, those are for the contract with the city of Bellingham, and as well DNR. and those increase at 3% each year. So there was a renegotiation of that price between 2023 and 2024, which is why you saw a bigger jump between those 2 years. And then the other two lines are the old bond fund, which still has some. There's still some. There's no revenue coming from it. It's just $1,100 sitting there. And then as well as the reserve fund where you'll see some investment interest come in. So total between the fire levy and the EMS levy, and again, the fire levy is you chose to increase it by 3% this year, which falls in line with the cost of living, and then 0% on the EMS levy for a total budgeted revenue of $4,089,000, $89,862 total for the fire district. Here we're moving into expenditures. So you can see expenditures again, you'll see them a little bit of change because of the District 4's elimination of the administrative position. But the big changes this year are going to be in your professional services and consulting. It's a reduction of $30,000 because of the not having contract with Liz Loomis this year. We reduced the advertising budget by $5,000. That'll allow for a mailer or something similar like that to go out to all citizens. And then the big increase is the big payment is always the integrated payments in North Whatcom Fire. And that is an increase of almost $700,000 this year. That is because of wages, overtime, which it takes to staff all the stations. But remember the commitment to staff to 3 at Station 12. That is because District 21 has 7 vacancies currently. We're filling 4 in January and have planned to fill 4 more in August. As well as just the cost of the ever increasing cost of everything. Insurance has gone up, remarkably, just all the things. I did send you separately, I sent you District 21's budget so that you could look over that line by line. And in that budget, in the copy of that budget, you can see the breakout for District 4 to the left, or to the right of each column. So that you can see that's calculate your 24 or 25% payment. The other piece that is kind of it's a case by case basis, but in this case it does apply to District 4 is a capital outlay of $50,000 for District 21. And that is to replace workstations at all of our stations. Our computers need to be upgraded to Windows 11. Ours are about 80% of ours are too old, so they're having to be upgraded. So computer hardware that's a shared cost between 2 districts. So with that, the quarterly payments will be $810,558. You are, unlike last year, District 4 is up to date. So there will not be having to double up payment in the first quarter of the year, as well as your revenue is robust enough that there's not going to have to be any, you'll be able to make all your payments on time. So everything is working as it should. So budgeted expenditures are $3,303,280 for a difference of $692,476. That will be $786,582, which will be remaining to be placed in reserve for investment interest for future purchases or for the expenditures on the capital facilities project at Station 12, or any other incidentals. But basically, your reserve account right now has just about $500,000 in it. Let me flip to that real quick. So your current reserve account is at $537,000. You have $1 million in cash, which we're going to actually move into investment so that it gets a higher rate of return. Then- so it's if we took this roughly you'll have over $1 million in reserve by the end of the year. Is what I project. So
Excellent.
It's very nice that the District 4 citizens saw fit to pass the fire levy. I mean, that's a real blessing, and it keeps District 4 is in a much different position than I will say District 21 is. If you review those documents that I sent you at District 21, you're going to see that they're going to balance their budget with $1.6 million from reserves. So totally different financial outlook. Jessica, do you have anything you wanted to add? Sorry, I just kind of talked over the top of the whole thing, so guess I'm getting some practice. And gentlemen, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
It looks like Jessica didn't have anything. I saw her shake her head. Commissioner Johnson or Land, any discussion on any of that?
A couple comments. First off, thank you very much, Chief and Jessica, for putting this together. And I think the budget meeting we had in November was really helpful. As we went through this, yeah, it all makes sense and looks like it's consistent with what we talked about in November's budget meeting. So no big surprises in my opinion here. I think it's pretty much what we had discussed. And Jessica, thank you very much for putting together the 2024 budget position for District 4 that went from January through I think the end of November. That was also helpful to look at. And I guess my only question is just, and I think I heard Chief say this, but the reason we were at 122% on our operations budget was we had to make an extra payment in this year for the payment to Northwest Fire. Is that correct? Is that
not an extra payment? Just fourth quarter of 2023 wasn't paid until January of 2024.
okay?
We are prohibited from crediting something, crediting it in the past. So it shows up as, for District 21, it shows up as revenue, and it has to show up as an expense for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the reason we were at 122%, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for putting that together.
Yeah, same here. Thank you very much. Super helpful. I know it's a ton of work to have everything in order like this for a meeting. So yeah, I want to recognize that too. So at the planning meeting, I was just throwing some ideas out there. I don't know if anything was sticking. Obviously it'd be kind of a policy discussion on what happens with the projected surplus and how it's spent. But I mean, there was talk about the assistant chief position. There's a vacancy, and I was throwing out some ideas. Jason, did that generate any kind of conversation, or is it just did it just kind of go out there and we're just gonna have a shortage of staff and live with it?
No, actually, in the District 21 budget, we're forced to plow ahead, and I hate to say it that way, but I don't know any other way to say it. We, despite the fact that the voters did not approve the levy, the call volume keeps increasing. We keep breaking equipment, and the operational needs just continue to expand. So we're actually funding 2 positions in district in 2025. And those will have a trickle down effect on part of why your payment has increased to the 800,000 level. One is another mechanic. Our equipment is old and continues to break down, and our current mechanic just literally can't keep up with it, despite it working crazy hours and as hard as he is. So we're gonna add a mechanic to the fleet area, and also that includes adding an assistant chief to be some assistance in administration and help with running the operation. And both those positions are reflected. District 4 will pay a quarter of both those salaries. One thing that your comment did lead to, and you may remember it, and it's actually next under new business, is talk about tenders and some of the fleet needs that the combined district, that North Wacom, both districts together have. And District 21, excuse me, had tried to purchase some tenders in 2022 and was having increasing difficulty with the manufacturer, and finally had enough, and we asked for our money back, and we got it. We got all our money back. District 21 so we had bought 2 tenders in 2022. Of course, between 2022 and late 2024, sure enough, the cost of things have increased. And so District 21, excuse me, because we had funds already earmarked for those tenders, has bought or is in the process of purchasing a tender to replace some old apparatus. It had been suggested at that meeting, although we need to have some further discussion about it, that District 4 could actually also purchase a tender. And the tenders that District 4 owns are not as old. They're almost 20 years younger, 15 years younger than the oldest District 21 tenders. The oldest District 21 tenders need to go out of service. They are beyond the point where they should really be in service. So we've got two of these very old ones from the 1990s that need to go, actually 1989, that need to go out of service. District 21 bought one, and it was suggested, I don't know if you heard of it, Commissioner Ansel kind of mentioned it, and that planted a seed in my head. So the tender that District 21 bought it's considered a demo. So it's a basic box with water on it. And the manufacturer is looking to offload them before the end of the year. And so you can get a bit of a price break. They've got several of them, and I've got a quote for one for District 4 if you're interested in seeing it, or if it's something that we want to push to January so I can give you a more formal presentation. I'm happy to do that as well. But if the question is, how could District 4 help District 21? That would be a massive way. That would be a huge way for District 4 to add to the rolling stock. It would help reduce District 4's WSRB profile, because you'd have a brand new tender as opposed to one from 1999. So for those people inside the safe zone in District 4, it's going to further reduce, potentially reduce the WSRB points. And it would overall help the fire district as a whole by helping us get rid of some of those older pieces of apparatus. The district the tender, if District 4 were to choose to purchase a tender, it will be stationed in District 4 at Station 12, used in District 4, and go mutual aid to Bellingham and District 21, just like any other piece of apparatus. But it would not go into the general pool. It would stay in District 4 at Station 12. We're kind of getting into the next topic, but yes, we did hear you, Commissioner Land, and that is a tangible way that District 4 could improve to the betterment of the whole district.
Okay, so for governance, it sounds like, and thanks for that. That was great explanation. So it sounds like for governance, essentially District 21 will continue to make the decisions on staffing, personnel kind of decisions, and we will pay that trickles down, we pay for it. And then, so there's not really a request on us to explore staffing, where we would start having staff again. Where we can have an impact is vehicles, and so forth.
Yeah, we're just, I mean, that the staffing piece is up to District 4, is truly up to the District 4 board. It wouldn't, it's going to cause there's going to be a lot of duplication of efforts if you have your own staff, right? Because if you have your own staff, you gotta pay all the things, and we've already got all that in place. It would be more complicated payroll wise. It's just,
Yep.
We have it all set up.
Yep.
Where District 4 could help would be, and these are all things I've learned in the last 5 years. It's amazing. If we keep things up to date, then they don't cost as much to maintain, right? So as we look at Station 12, it's 20 plus 24 years old. It's going to need its HVAC probably redone at some point. That would be something that District 4, as a District 4 owned property, that will have to be done by District 4. I don't, and that will lessen maintenance costs, which will hopefully at some point we'll see a stabilization in the amount of quarterly payments that District 4 has to pay to District 21 for the operation. Like I said, I know this year's is a big jump. It's probably the biggest jump I've projected in my time as fire chief. But we're getting to the point where, until the 21 citizens decide to come on board with a levy, we're maxed as far as there won't be any more additions of personnel or anything like that. We're kind of at our limit. So, and as far as engaging, I think just procedurally, I think that the District 4 board has every right to exert your voice over things like wages and how many FTEs we have and those kind of things. I would recommend doing it in a collaborative effort instead of, but I do think I think that that the District 21 board would in some cases welcome the assistance with those kind of things and that kind of review. It just makes us a better district overall.
So as far as the tender issue goes, I'm thinking, putting it on the agenda for the next meeting in January would be great. I have a couple specific questions about that. It sounds like a good way to contribute, but I've got some questions. So can we does that sound
yes,
Johnson? And does that work for you too if we put that on the agenda for?
Yep.
Okay. Great. All right, so we'll do that. And that was a great segue right into that tender purchase topic. So I'm going to consider we've covered that as soon as we're done with any other discussion regarding the tender proposal at this point. And Mark, did you get your questions answered?
I did. It's a big conversation, so I'm pretty happy with, where we're at now.
Yeah. Good. Okay. All right, well then we'll move on to the next item in new business, which is the meeting schedule resolution. And it says information discussed, and we don't need to adopt that at this meeting, Chief, is that right?
Jenny, are you able to Let me look real quick.
Yeah, we've got the resolution drafted here as 2025-01, right?
Okay, so yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we can pass
This
that.
is a
now, or
draft, so
should
this
we-
is so you can check the meeting dates. That's why
Yeah.
it's up here as a draft, so that
Gotcha. And then we vote on it in January?
in January. Now the
Okay.
important Jenny put all these hang on a second. Yeah.
Yep.
So Jenny put all these meeting dates. These are all Mondays at noon. And just so you know, these correspond with the county deadlines that as far as payroll and getting vouchers paid. So that's why these dates are important, or that's why these were chosen. If some of them might seem early, I will let you know. She's got one highlighted here. The November 13th meeting. That one, the deadline for the county is actually the 14th, so the next day. So that will be one that it's critical that at least two commissioners are going to physically be around for signatures that week. That week.
Okay. Writing that down.
That sounds like an eternity away from now.
Yeah,
I
it
know
does.
it is. Yeah, who knows if I'll even be the one talking to you in November, right?
I'm not gonna promise anything.
Right. Yeah. 6 hours.
Excuse me, I think that one of the meetings may be on a different day than a Monday.
That's the November 13th. It's on a Thursday.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. It'll be similar to our November meeting this month last month where it was on a Thursday.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. Okay, so we're to look those over and then be ready to discuss and approve that in January, yes?
Yes. And if there's any concern, if you could please bring that forward sooner and we'll get things sorted out, or we'll figure out how we're going to deal with it. Just so we're not trying to deal with it online in January.
Yeah, for sure. Get the feedback to you before then, so we're ready to vote on it. Okay. Great. And then the next item on new business is board officer elections. The three of us had an opportunity to kind of go over that at our special meeting at last month. So we're probably ready to vote on that. Do we just want to take care of that today?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. So as per discussion at our last special meeting, I think that I'm just going to say that I think the three of us agreed that I'll remain as chairman. Commissioner Johnson will remain as vice chair, and Mark Land will be member at large.
I'm the third wheel.
Third wheel. There you go. Does that sound acceptable to the three of you, or to the two of you?
Yes.
The third one. Okay. All right.
It does.
So, yeah, there's nothing written here, so I think I can just, so the proposed slate for the 2025 fire commissioners for District 4 is me continuing as chairman, Commissioner Johnson continuing as vice chair, and Commissioner Land, again, being, as he said, the third wheel. So all those in favor of that slate of officers for next year, please say aye.
Aye.
Or do I need a motion, don't I?
Unanimous consent.
Yeah, I think we're good. I'm the only one that didn't say aye. So motion carries 3-0. That's what the slate will be for next year. Excellent. All right. Correspondence. There were a couple things in there that you all probably saw. Speaking of the WSRB ratings, there was an interesting article from King 5 on that issue. And also, any comments on the new treasury system, Chief, and how it affects us, or is that just for our information?
Jessica would be more.
Yeah. Anything we need to know about the new system that'll affect us, Jessica? Mostly affects you, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you for including that in our packet, so we at least got a heads up about that. That's great. Okay, last item on the agenda is board meeting attendance for January 13th. I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear for that date. Anybody else have a problem with that date? Yeah, Monday the 13th at
good.
noon, I'll be available.
Yep.
Sorry, Tim. Looks good.
Mhm.
Okay, great. All right, and yes, agenda item for next meeting will formalize the dates for all of the future meetings next year. Anything else that anybody can think of we need to add at this time for the next meeting? Oh, we
All right.
discussed the
Tender discussion.
Thank you. Yeah, so we got that. All right, anything else for the good of the order? All right, well, it's been a pleasure, everybody. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll consider this meeting adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.